Yeah, brothers, we're looking at the chemical construction of melanin, and this Dom Society lecturer is actually talking about melanin, but he mentioned something that's caught my attention, and I want you to pay attention to this.
And it makes very complex structures, and not all melanins are the same, as we'll talk about in a minute. In fact,
okay, right here it says melanin, and scientifically that means melanin good. This is what's in black and brown people, predominantly black people. And faux melanin is what's in our Caucasian folks. It's undeveloped mutated melanin. So we have two different types of melanin here. We got the melanin and the faux melanin. Not trying to do any racial stuff, just point out what this guy is talking about. Okay?
there's somebody even studying that and wondering whether energy is directly absorbed from the melanin in your skin and transformed into energy in your body. Okay? And they even think about, could in the future, and they're developing this now, they're taking melanin and making batteries out of them that store energy from the sunlight directly. Might in fact become a future source of how we're going to generate energy.
This makes me think of the Matrix. I can see them, I can see whole tons of black folks lined up as storage batteries, because we're the race that has melanin that actually works on the planet. I've been following this for quite some time. Melanin is produced in part by your pineal gland and the pituitary gland. And I noticed that in the last few years in Wikipedia, they separated melanin from the pineal gland, because the Dom Society people do not produce melanin, so they separate that knowledge out and took it away from the aspects of the pineal gland. Don't be fooled by that. Your pineal gland is the key factor in producing the melanin in your body. In our Caucasian brothers and sisters, the pineal gland is in what is called a calcified state. This is left over from the Wormian Ice Age, our last ice age. The pineal gland gets activated by sunlight. During that ice age, there was not strong sunlight to keep the pineal gland active. So in our Caucasian races, their pineal gland is mostly calcified. Okay?
Now, let's get back with that little bit of physics background. Let's talk about...
Now, I like using a Caucasian scientist, because our Dom Society people, if they see some of the black people that talk about it, the way they're dressed and stuff like that, they will not respect the information.
Melanin inside chaga and melanin inside the body. So it absorbs thousands of times more electromagnetic radiation actually than chlorophyll does, and chlorophyll is what we need to make proteins and sugars, especially sugars in the body. It exists in many other tissues, as I mentioned. It's actually a very important molecule in any woman who's having a baby, because the fetus...
Now, this is why the Caucasian race has so many birth defects, and because the womb of a Caucasian woman doesn't have the melanocytes or the melanin to protect the baby, as does the African folks do.
This has all this melanin in it, as I'll show you. Okay? And it's thought to be, by some people, a master molecule that actually steers how the body communicates. For example, Frank Barr, a scientist, wrote a whole article, a whole issue of a journal called Medical Hypothesis, saying, melanin is such a special molecule that is found in the babies.
Now, I need to say something here, because I deal with people on YouTube. It does not mean that black folks don't have birth defects. There's some Caucasians who will hear that, and they'll just, no, I'm not, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what science is saying. Now, the main molecule of melanin is carbon. So, for us black folks, we tend to call ourselves melanated people, but we can also say we're carbonated people because we have a high percentage of carbon in our bodies. Carbon, as you know, is a dark substance. It's carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen combined, I believe. I believe there's one more chemical or element in there.
It may have a major role in steering things in the body, in the whole regulatory system. Melanin's role in embryological organization, that's in the baby's organization, and tissue repair and tissue regeneration may be connected to the major role that it plays to balance the body, that's called homeostasis, in the autonomic, neuroendocrine, and immunological system. So in other words, melanin may play a much bigger role than just absorbing all this radiation, and when you get it into your body, it actually has a major effect on your immune system. Here's a picture of a baby at 35 days of pregnancy, and this is the eye of an embryo inside the mother. It's a very tiny little thing. Notice that the eye is pure melanin. That's an amazing picture, isn't it? To see all this melanin is inside, and when the embryo first forms, there is what's called the dark streak. It's all melanin. Okay, here's an example of a plant. It's an eggplant that has melanin in it, and a genetically changed one that is no melanin in it. Notice this.
That's like black folks and white folks. Black folks, we have a ton of melanin. And white folks, you guys lack melanin. You have faux melanin, which isn't the pure, as science words, melanin good, meaning good melanin. Not to make you feel inferior or anything like that. Please don't feel inferior. Okay, don't start writing stupid stuff.
Size of the two difference. I mean, this is an indirect indication that melanin, directly can transduce energy in the vegetable kingdom.
Okay, so notice how black folks, how we move differently, how when music is on, melanin picks up energy, conducts energy. So if you put music on, so black folks will start moving. Like if you go to a restaurant, they play, good music, you see black folks' head moving. If you look at other races, they're sitting there still. That's why black folks, we respond to music. That's how the dominant society got control over the black race in America, is through our music as one tool. That's how they were able to turn us against each other, create the ghetto thugs that are, we're shooting up each other, killing each other. It's from our music, because we respond to music. The music is programming us. It's slowing us down, because rap is like 97 beats a minute. It's how they gain control of our mind through use of our energy-conducting melanin. So I'm studying this stuff. I'll let you guys know other stuff that I've learned, and we'll continue.